Hi everyone, my name is Audrey and welcome to my channel. Today I'm giving you the Mid-Year Freakout Tag. So it's July, which means it's that time of the year where we do our mid-year videos. We're going to check on our goals, where we're at with those goals, and where do we go from here for the rest of the year. I am also celebrating my 2-year booktube anniversary. I don't really have any plans to celebrate that. If you have any ideas, you can drop your ideas in the comments and I'll see if I decide to do something or not, but yeah. So for the tag, I have just written down the questions and I have not prepared any answers whatsoever. So we're just gonna wing it as it is and yeah, see how it goes. First question, what are the best books you've read so far in 2023? And for that, I'd have to check my 6 stars. Let's see. We have The Adventures of Amina al-Sarafi by Shannon Chakraborty. I'm not gonna pull that out of my library. Then I had Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor, which was a reread, so does that really count? Not sure. The Blood Trials by N.E. Davenport. Great revelation for me. And in January, The Burning God by R.F. Kuang. I bawled my eyes out of that one. And The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Turton, which is also a reread, so I don't know if that counts. Special mention to Lakewood by Megan Giddings. The Deep by Rivers Solomon. Oh, I think I skipped one. No, special mention to Raybearer by Jordan Ifweko. Slay by Brittany Morris. Elatsue by Darcy Little Badger. The Kingdom of Copper. That one should be on my... That one should be 6 stars. By Shannon Chakraborty. Spy Family Volume 2. Empress of Salt and Fortune by Niveau. And The Girl from the Other Side by Nagabi. So those are the best ones so far. Those special mentions were 5 stars and my 6 stars are my all-time favorite, if that makes sense. Question number 2. Best sequel you've read in 2023. So for that answer, I'm going to say The Burning God by R.F. Kuang, The Kingdom of Copper by Shannon Chakraborty, Spy Family, I guess I can add to that one. I think that's it. I started a lot of new series instead of finishing them so far. Question 3. What new release you haven't read yet but want to? For that answer, I'm going to say Yellowface by R.F. Kuang. I do have it on my TBR card and not too far here. And I'm really excited to get to it. I've heard really great things and R.F. Kuang is a queen, so I'm not going to be disappointed. Question number 5. Your biggest disappointment? That's a good question. Oh, let me check. All right, so far, I could say Destroy Me and Unravel Me, but honestly, I wasn't expecting much for those books, so it wasn't a disappointment per se. I knew I wasn't going to like them, so. But I did read One by One by Ruth Ware. I didn't know what to expect, and I was hoping to like that book. It was very, very hyped. And I was very disappointed how much I didn't like it. I gave it a 1.5 stars. I would also include A Good Girl's Guide to Murder to that one by Holly Jackson, because that one was also very, very hyped, and I was expecting it to be amazing, and it wasn't. It was good. I gave it a 3.5 stars, but it wasn't like hype worthy in my opinion, if that makes sense. Question number 6, your biggest surprise. I want to say Lakewood by Megan Giddings. I knew it was just from, what's their new channel name? Just on YouTube. I knew it was one of their favorite books. I haven't heard much about it around BookTube, not as much as many other books, and I wasn't expecting like too much of it, and I was really, really surprised at how much I enjoyed my reading experience with that book. I also want to add Riot Baby by Tochi Onyebuchi, because that was not at all the writing style I knew Tochi Onyebuchi for. I read previously the Beasts Made of Night duology, and those two books are really, really different. So much I thought it was not from the same author. So yeah, that was a big surprise, but it was a good surprise because it was a really amazing book. What else? Oh, Raybearer. Raybearer by Jordan Ifweko was also a good surprise because I was not expecting to enjoy my read that much. I did hear a lot of amazing stuff about the book, but when you read the synopsis, the premise sounded a little bit weird, but it ended up being amazing, and the world building was so well done that it was easy to get through. The Girl from the Other Side is also a good surprise. I went with it a little bit unknowingly. I haven't seen it anywhere at all. I found it on Goodreads on a list for the Buzzwordathon, and I was not expecting much for it. I decided to just pick it up because I liked the cover and the art style, and I was pleasantly surprised. I really, really enjoyed it. I'm glad I discovered that series. Question 7. What is your favorite new author? I'm gonna go with Niveau on that one. I did really, really enjoy The Empress of Salt and Fortune. I loved that it was a shorter format. I loved the way it was written. It was very poetic, but I was not confused by it. And I know, I've got a feeling that Niveau has a lot more to say. I know there's a lot more books coming out in that series, and I can't wait to get to them. Question number 8. Newest fictional crush. I don't think I can answer that. I don't typically have fictional crushes, so I don't know. No answer for that one, sorry. Question number 9. What is your newest favorite character? I'm gonna go with Amina Al-Sarafi. I love reading from a perspective of a 30-plus woman, a badass woman, and like having an older woman that has a child, that is a mother, that has a lot going on, and having her going through an adventure and going back to her old habits and having to deal with all of her conflicting emotions. I loved it so much. She was very sassy, and she is one of my favorite characters for this year for sure. Question number 10, a book that made you cry. The Burning God by R.F. Kuang. I've said it before. I've been bawling my eyes out. I think it's the book that made me cry the most so far. I don't cry easily in books. I rarely do cry. And that book. I actually filmed myself crying because I was saying to myself, I was telling myself that, like, if I don't get it on camera, I won't believe myself that I've been crying from a book. And yeah, I got that in a vlog somewhere. And yeah, that book made me cry so much. It was the right ending, but it made me cry. It was a very new experience for me. I usually cry very easily in movies, but books, not so easy. But that one really got to me. Question number 11. What is a book that made you happy? That's a very hard question to answer because I don't typically read contemporary or romance or books that tend to have like happy feelings in them. So I don't know. It makes me happy to go through all these like dark emotions. I enjoy going through that, but does it actually makes me happy? I don't know. I was excited to read The Blood Trials a lot. I was really excited for that book. I was also really excited to pick up The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle because I did want to see if I would remember everything that was going on, and that I would still remember every plot and twist and still see it coming, or if I was going to pick up on stuff that I didn't pick up the first time, because there's so much to unpack in that book. But like, it's not really a happy book that would make me that happy. I don't know. I don't know how else to answer this question. Question number 12. What is the most beautiful book you've bought so far? Ooh. I'm gonna go with Amin al-Sarafi. I think that's the prettiest book I've bought this year. And I know it's not like the special, very pretty edition that I keep seeing from Fairloot. I wish I had that one. But I really like this cover as well. So yeah, I'm gonna go with this one. And final question, we have, what book do you need to read by the end of the year? I have a lot. Honestly, I wish I could finish most of my books that I have on my TBR card. So let me show you. Let's go through them. I'm trying to finish the books I started so far. And I'm also trying to finish the books that I've had on my TBR card for the longest, if that makes sense. So I'll show you. The Dragon's Promise is on my July TBR. The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes from Susan Collins is also on my TBR. Wicked Like a Wildfire by Lena Popovich is also on my TBR. So basically the first part of this card is my July ongoing month TBR. So I have A Brief History of 7 Killings by Maureen James. I'm not gonna finish this one during July, but hopefully I'll make some progress. This one is not on my TBR. I have a Celeste Ng book that I'm not gonna show you. Psalm of Storm and Silence by Roseanne A. Brown. I'm currently rereading the first book. I've got Parce que tu es une femme merveilleuse, which is from my neighbor. She wrote this book. She wanted me to review it. Then I have The Beautiful by Renée Audier, which I've been putting on my TBRs for so many months and still haven't picked it up yet. Then I've got this book, which is a book about Frida Kahlo, which explains parts of her world and who she is, what she did, and where she's from and her life and stuff like that. So really very pretty book. I've got it at the BookCon here in Quebec. So yeah, I want to read that. I've got book 2 and book 3 of The Lord of the Rings that I want to get to. I haven't started either of them so far, and I know they take a long time to get through. So I should start very soon, since we're already halfway through the year. Then I have A Map for Wrecked Girls by Jessica Taylor. This was hyped on BookTube years ago. I got it for a very cheap price, so I might as well read it. Ma Vie de Gelomo by Elisabeth Barry-Lessard, which is a friend of mine who wrote a series for middle grade. This is book number 2. Then ones I'm going to prioritize is these ones. So we have The Stone Sky by N.K. Jemisin, book number 2 of the Broken Earth trilogy. No, this is book number 3. I also have book number 2. Yeah, because I haven't read book number 2. So The Obelisk Gate is book number 2. The Stone Sky, book number 3. I haven't read either of them, but I do want to finish that series. It's an amazing series. Fierce Like a Firestorm by Lena Popovich. This is the second book of Wicked Like a Wild Flower. I do want to finish the duology quickly. I've also been trying to read Lair of Dreams by Libba Bray, which is book number 2 of the Diviners trilogy series. But yeah, I tried last Halloween, didn't end up picking it up, so I'll try to do that this year. Yellowface, as I've mentioned earlier, I do want to get to it and prioritize it. Then I'm going to try to finish a Good Girl's Guide to Murder, the rest of the trilogy. I do have the 2 next books, the sequels. I also want to finish books I started for NetGalley and that I never ended up reviewing. I have, I think, 3 books. Black Forest. I have the second book of Downworld by Rebecca Phelps, and then I have Stormland, and I don't remember the author, which was also an arc I got on NetGalley. I want to finish those and get those reviews up, even if they're like a year late. I don't care. I just want them read and done with, so I can have a peace of mind of all of that. So yeah. That's it. That's all for my mid-year freakout tag. Let me know if you've read any of these books. Do you agree with me? Do you not? I would love to discuss it in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you want to be notified every time I upload a new video. And I will see you soon in the next one. Bye!